Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Monday. I know it's been maybe 2 weeks that I haven't been on here except for the videos that I did on Friday. I put out 2 recipe videos. So I've been kind of MIA. I took a little break from YouTube because I had a lot going on with the end of Ramadan, and there was just a lot going on in my schedule. I added work a couple of days a week and I was waking up extra early, and with Ramadan I was barely getting any sleep. So I didn't want my health to take a backseat, so something had to take a backseat. So I prioritized and I put these videos on delay for a little while, and now I'm back and refreshed, and Ramadan's over and I can sleep normal hours again, and I can drink water and eat and all that good stuff. So I'm back with more energy and a lot of information for you, and hopefully I can continue. And if I need to take a break or if I need a vacation from YouTube once in a while, I will take it, because my #1 priority is my health. And you guys know that because this channel is my weight loss journey documented. So if I'm putting myself second to anything, I'm doing myself a disservice. So I couldn't do that and sanely record videos and bring you good content if I wasn't feeling 100% my best. So I took a break so I can feel 100% my best again. So thanks for tuning in again. And I wanted to tell you, I've been taking some nutrition classes, and I figured, because I'm taking the classes and you're not taking the classes with me, I will bring you some of the information that I learned in each of the classes so that you know it and we can spread a great message about nutrition and the importance of it, because I've told you in previous videos how important nutrition really is to long-term sustainable goals of a healthy lifestyle, and not just, you know, fad diets or things that don't last and, you know, bring us right back to where we don't want to be: miserable, fat, tired, unhealthy, and so many other things. So in my first class, the first nutrition class, we went over topics including self-monitoring, goal setting, and intro to nutrition. So the doctor that was conducting the class went into the different causes of what causes obesity. And so they are behavioral causes, environmental, and genetic. So as far as the genetic portion of it goes, obviously, whatever genetic things that you have going on or born with, it's not really something that you can modify at this point. And so the most modifiable cause of obesity is behavioral, and you can change that. So you can change your behaviors and all that stuff. And honestly, if you change your behaviors and you change your environmental things, the genetic part of it can't play that heavy of a role because it would be controllable through your behavioral changes. And environmental things are like things like driving to work, desk jobs, a profit-driven food environment that we live in here in America, foods that are made to be as addictive as possible and palatable as possible to keep you coming back. Restaurants, their main goal is not to keep you healthy. Their main goal is to keep you coming back. So when you go to a restaurant, yes, they are using more fat and they are using more salt than you can ever imagine. There's things going in your food that you don't even know are going in your food. And that's just the reality of the restaurant business. The restaurant business is there to keep you coming back. And food always tastes better, let's say, in a restaurant, because there's a lot more things going into it, like butter and things like that. It's a reality. That's just the way it is. So that's why it's most recommended to cook your meals at home, meal plan, and do the best you can with that, because only when you cook yourself do you know 100% what's going into your food. And even the healthiest restaurant can still have things in it and additives in it that are just not healthy. So I'm going to go through the notes here. And just tell you kind of, okay, so she broke it down basically into what works and what doesn't work. So what doesn't work are diets, because diets do not produce long-term results. No short-term changes lead to long-term weight loss. So whenever you make a change, you know, you have to do it long-term. So if this is something, the changes that you're making, the diet that you're making, if it's something you could do forever, then you definitely can reach that healthy goal weight. You can maintain this healthy lifestyle, and it won't be anything that's tremendously difficult. Now, if you're following a specific diet where your food is coming to the door, or you're going, you know, you're eating only like packaged foods and things like that that are specific to any of these diets or shakes or things like that, I'm not knocking anything. Do whatever works for you, but in my opinion, you can't eat those foods forever. You can't live in society and only eat packaged foods that come shipped to your door every week, or eat shakes for the rest of, or drink or eat shakes or whatever it is that, you know, they have you do for the rest of your life. There has to be something that makes you feel that you could do it on your own, whether you had something come into your house or not. So if you're eating, you know, a way where you can go to a supermarket or travel or go anywhere in the world and still eat that way, the chances of success are higher than if you're only able to access those food products in the state that you live in or the country that you live in because it's not made anywhere else. So make these changes, the lifestyle changes, realistic changes that you can take anywhere with you. You could travel with your meal plan. You can, you know, go into any supermarket anywhere in the world and be able to make yourself a healthy meal and not derail yourself off of your healthy lifestyle. So there's like this sick pattern. Basically, you start a fad diet, you're good, and then you're exercising, you fall off the wagon, you're pitying yourself, and then it's like this unending vicious cycle that gets us nowhere. So instead of being in this like hamster wheel going around and round and not making any changes, let's just jump off of that, you know, thing that, you know, is, you know, your market, there's a lot of marketing going into fad diets and, you know, lose weight 30 pounds in 30 days and this, that, and the other. And while all those are appealing because it's giving you that message of like, it's easy, let's do it, it's the easy way out, it's just not, it's not easy. And there is no easy way out. There's hard work. You didn't gain weight overnight. You're not going to lose it overnight. Don't go in with the expectation that you're going to lose 30 pounds in 30 days or that you're going to eat healthy and then wake up in the morning and all your fat somehow's dropping off your body and you're a supermodel. It's not happening. You have to put in the work every single day to see the results. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of determination, a lot of consistency. Consistency is a major thing. You have to eat right 90% of the time. You have to exercise. You have to be active. These are all things that every healthy person does that leads a healthy lifestyle. It's not something that's just unique to you, that you need to lose weight or I need to lose weight and I'm the only one who has to do this. Go into a gym and take a look at the crowds that are there. It's not just heavy people there. There are very fit, tone, muscular people that are in the gym day in and day out, and it's part of their daily routine. And it's part of their daily routine because that's their lifestyle, and they look the way that they do because of all the things that they do every day. It's not just 1 or 2 days. It's not a short-term commitment. They're married to this lifestyle and it's forever. And honestly, me being in the lifestyle before that, I was, you know, yo-yo dieting and gaining weight and losing weight, this new lifestyle of, you know, for the past 6 months, I celebrated my 6-month mark, by the way, which was really exciting, but living the way that I've lived for the past 6 months has just opened my eyes up to a different world, a world where I don't have to yo-yo diet, a world where I don't have to be miserable or fear falling off the wagon or fear that I'm going to gain weight again, because I'm not thinking of it as a diet anymore, and I'm not thinking of it as a temporary thing. I know that this is the way I want to be for the rest of my life because I'm happier this way. It's just amazing. Oh, and I did turn a year older. All these things happened. But it's been really good, like, just discovering who I am. And don't get me wrong, it's not always smiles and laughter and, you know, good moods on your journey, because life isn't always smiles and laughter and good moods, but we work through, like even in life, when it has nothing to do with a weight loss goal, if you're having a hard time in life, you're still going on. You're still having to live your life despite however you're feeling. So check your feelings, you know, in a certain, wherever they need to be. Feel your feelings, do whatever you need to do with your feelings, but don't let your feelings get in the way of the goals that you have for yourself, because it's really important. So now, what does work for long-term nutritional changes is a global shift in one's relationship with food. So how to do it? Intuitive eating, goal setting, self-monitoring, and, you know, starting with those things. So it says here, I'm going to read this off because, you know, I'm not the teacher of the class. I want to bring that to you. So I'm going to go through my notes. They're pretty good. Food is linked to stress relief, family, and many other things other than hunger and not nourishment. So food has been used in our society for many things, not just for fuel. And that's why we're so trained and accustomed to turning to food for everything, or making food the center of every event and family gathering and, you know, girls' night out, and all the other things are associated with food, drink, and somehow, you know, it gets wrapped into what we do on a daily basis. And it really does make a difference in your overall lifestyle and your overall health, because everything you're doing is associated with eating and drinking. You know, it's like it becomes this mindless thing that everything you do has to be surrounded by food, and it just doesn't have to be that way. Getting in touch with your hunger and, you know, those signals that your body gives off when you're full, and that takes practice. So a lot of times, I know in a group setting, if you ever know, like you go out with friends, you always tend to eat more than if you ate by yourself and you were conscious and mindful of what you were eating. And a lot of times, maybe in a setting where you're not in your normal environment, you might eat even when you're not hungry because it's there. You're at a party, there's an appetizer, and it comes around and you just reach for it. It's kind of like, why? You have to stop and kind of think, why am I eating this right now? If I'm not hungry, why am I even partaking in this situation? And you can go to a party and not eat anything. You can go to a party and just drink seltzer or water or something that has no calories, like an iced tea that's not sweetened. There's a lot of possibilities of still being social, but staying within the lifestyle that you are accustomed to and that's important to you. And these are changes that are important for you to maintain. I do it, and it wasn't easy at first, but it becomes easier the more you do it. So we were born as natural intuitive eaters, and through time, it's turned into eating for many other reasons other than hunger. So there's a hunger, and I don't even know how to say this word, so I'm not going to bother, but there's a hunger and like fullness scale that she wrote, you know, in this PowerPoint presentation, and it goes from 0 to 10. So 0 being very hungry and 10 being very full. And she advised that the ideal range for this scale is to be between a 3 and a 7. 3 being comfortably hungry and 7 being comfortably satisfied. So you don't want to ever eat when you don't want to grocery shop when you're too hungry, or eat when you're too hungry, because you end up eating like 10 things, or like picking at a few different things just to get that really extreme hunger feeling out of the way, and before you know it, you've eaten too much. And you also don't want to get to the point where you're eating and you can't even stop, and then you have that disgusting, gross feeling of feeling so full that you can't breathe. So none of those are ideal. I don't want to be so hungry that I'm ripping through my kitchen and eating everything, and I don't want to be so full that I have to be like rolled home from an event. So pick a comfortable range. Be just enough hungry to make the proper choices, and just full enough that you're satisfied but you're not exploding and your pants are still going to button or like stay buttoned, and you won't need to shop the next day because you just ate too much at that party or at that whatever you went to. So now when it comes to snacking, I told you guys before, excuse me, in previous videos that I do not snack in between meals, and there's a reason for that. I eat what I need to eat in my meals in order to keep me satisfied. So I make sure I have my greens in there, my grains, my my protein and fruit. And if I wanted to eat nuts or whatever, I get them at my 3 meals. So I make sure that I'm completely satisfied in those 3 meals, where I don't need to snack and pick in between, because snacking does add up. And a lot of times snacking leads to more snacking, and, you know, finding something salty and then finding something sweet. And before you know it, you've snacked enough calories for a 4th meal. And that's just not necessary. We've been told, you know, snack between meals and have healthy snacks and this, that, and the other. But I found in my experience that it's just not necessary. It makes you hungrier, and you in turn eat more calories, and there's just, your body just doesn't need that much fuel to burn. You should be eating enough fuel in those 3 meals that you don't need to snack on anything. And if you really are so hungry in between, sure, eat something, but make sure that the reason you're eating is, you know, decide, am I hungry right now? Am I physically hungry or emotionally hungry? So if you're physically hungry, eat like fruits, vegetables, fiber packed foods, and water, you know, packed foods. So fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, things like that. And if you're not hungry, decide, like, is it emotional? Is it boredom? Is it just whatever? And kind of be able to differentiate. So, and if you can do that, that's a huge step to decide whether you're really hungry or just kind of eating because it's there and you're home late from work and you just want to like mindlessly snack on something before you get dinner ready, or you want to sit in front of the TV and binge watch something and just like have you know, something going into your mouth and mindlessly be eating popcorn or chips or whatever it is you like to eat at night, or, you know, do. It's kind of like a routine thing that you do, or like a routine thing that you do at your desk, but you have to be able to recognize those routine behaviors that are not leading you anywhere good and be able to eliminate those behaviors. So emotional hunger goes away in about 20 minutes. So do something else, distract yourself, and get out of that area that's, you know, making you want to eat. Also, snacking can be habit related. So that makes sense, because if you're habitually eating a snack every night or having a pint of ice cream every night after dinner, these are habits. These are not necessities. No one needs a pint of ice cream after dinner. No one needs any of the stuff that we're constantly pumping into our bodies and making ourselves sick because of. Okay, so the next thing, I don't think I'll do all of this in one because the video is getting long, and I'm actually going into a yoga class soon, so I can't be late for that. So the next portion of it, basically what I'll say is set goals. Have a sense of what's important. Keep a list of what you hope to accomplish, why you want to lose weight, and think beyond the number on the scale. Look back at your goals when you need them and set realistic expectations. Having unrealistic weight loss expectations is associated with losing less weight. So, and then the last part of this class is this particular class was self-monitoring. So why self-monitor? Monitoring facilitates mindfulness, accountability, and you're able to target trouble areas once you recognize them for what they are. So it's been shown that people who have kept off who have lost 30 pounds and kept it off for a year or more, journal what they eat and actually have a food journal, write down things throughout their day, and also exercise for roughly about an hour a day. That's based on research of like following a certain group of people in a weight loss control group. And this is what they found, that people who write things down and journal and have all that accountability and be able to like look back and see what they've done and look at their patterns have been more able to keep off their weight and recognize behaviors and habits in themselves and be able to fix anything that may be causing them to have setbacks or not be able to reach the goals that they have. And it's always good to have it in front of you on paper, because you can see what you ate and different times and why you ate them. You can also write down, you know, why you're eating certain foods or why you're snacking, why you feel that way. So it says here, what to self-monitor. Food, if you bite it, write it. 2, activity, steps, or workouts. And optional to write down is your mood, how hungry you feel on a scale of 0 to 10. And you can just write your thoughts, emotions, or whatever. So that's a little idea for you if it helps you for accountability reasons. Now, the last thing I will tell you in this video is basic nutrition guidelines. So no skipping of meals. Consume consistent breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Skipping breakfast leads to abnormal blood sugar control and increased hunger throughout the day. Breakfast within 2 hours of waking up. No eating within 2 hours of bedtime. These are just guidelines. You don't have to follow them. These are things that I learned, and they do make sense, and I follow them, but feel free to take whatever works for you and leave whatever doesn't, and we can all be happier and healthier doing what works for us, and hopefully live in a world where we don't have to suffer based on our food habits, and be able to be these productive individuals with fully functioning healthy bodies. And it's just better for all of us, really. And then snacks should be limited and based on physical hunger, and drink at least 64 ounces of fluid per day, more if you're active, and try to drink some water, 12 to 16 ounces of water before each meal. And just a little guideline here is breakfast, try to make that your biggest meal, lunch a little smaller, and dinner smaller than your lunch. And if you skip dinner, make sure that you're getting enough nutrition in your breakfast and your lunch that you're not losing out on, you know, the vitamins and nutrients and everything that you need to be fully functional. And if you can, limit your beverages to mostly water. If you're having coffee, just watch for the sugar content and the milk and all the things that you add to your coffee, because coffee itself is like anywhere from 0 to 5 calories, and that's the same for tea. But once you start doing all those syrups and milk and sugar, you're really increasing all your calories for that. So I hope that you've gotten a lot out of this. I'm going to actually mark where I left off in my book so that I can pick up on the next video and continue bringing to you what I'm learning in my class. I'm so happy to be back on here and recording these videos, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching, and see you later. Bye.